Hello fellow human, hope you guys have a great day and let's read some entitled parent stories. To the first one, M wants resort upgrades for a resort she's not staying in, but puts the actual safety of her nearly drowned son behind being found out. This happened Memorial Day opening weekend of 2006, but feels like yesterday, and the detail will always be fresh in my mind. I promise this is definitely an enraging story worth reading. My very first legitimate job at age 16 was a lifeguard for both indoor and outdoor pools at a large lake resort. I had absolutely nothing to do with the reservations, rooms, housekeeping, the restaurants, etc. I was just a docking lifeguard. It was my third day on the job. Anybody could access the outdoor pool, and since the resort was located in a state park open to the public, we often had people coming up from the lake and the marina trying to swim in the pool. Anybody could buy a season pass or single-day entry to the pools, and we had two employees that would periodically walk the outdoor pool to check for either room keys or pool passes. One day, a woman that was letting her young son swim freely without any supervision was sitting at a table with an umbrella on the corner of the deck, slurping down alcoholic beverages. She kept sending her slightly older daughter over to my lifeguard stand to complain about things. My mommy wants to know why nobody has come to take another drink order. My mommy says that the umbrella doesn't give enough shade and wants to know if we can move to the upper deck. The upper deck was reserved for guests of the resort and had assigned table and chairs with the umbrellas per room number. The third time this kid came up to me without taking my eyes off the water, I told her to let her mommy know that the lifeguard weren't in charge of any of those things and that I couldn't carry on conversations with anybody while keeping people safe in the pool. Daughter goes back over to mom. Mom walks over and pulls son from the water to talk to him for a minute, and then son gets back to swimming. I'm actively scanning and I can see all of this. 5 minutes later, M comes storming over to my stand and demands that I give her a spot on the upper deck. When I refused to look in her direction and started to tell her that she'd need to talk to the front desk, she somewhat quietly hissed at me about how rude I was being. Next thing I know, son goes underwater. He's in the deep end, where he cannot touch, and he isn't a strong swimmer. He was holding on to the ledge but got distracted. I wonder what by and let go. I immediately blow my whistle and jump in, pull him up and out of the pool, and start assessing him. The other guard on duty blows her whistle and empties the water. Protocol for a rescue there. Everyone is watching and M screams, "How dare you ignore my request? How dare you embarrass my son and me like this?" She yanks her son up by the arm and starts pulling him towards their table as I follow and tell her we need to wait on EMS to arrive, which the other lifeguard has called to the front desk and requested via radio. She screams, "He is fine and we are leaving." Son is coughing up water and crying, and I attempt to tell the mom about the delayed dry drowning. By now, the aquatics and resort manager are walking our direction. The managers both make it to us, and M is refusing to wait for EMS, screaming that she is a CNA and can rare for her own son that dry drowning isn't real, and that we cannot keep them there. The aquatics manager asks her to stay long enough to fill out an incident report/refusal form, and the resort manager asks for her room number so they can be checked on later. This is when everything clicks. M has no room number, which I already knew but didn't have time to mention to my manager, no pool pass, and no right to be there at all. She's willing to risk her son's life in order to avoid this information becoming apparent. She snuck in after the last deck check and planned to leave as the next started, about a 2-hour window. Daughter is crying and now saying, "Mommy said we were coming here to swim and get ice cream." M is screaming about suing me and the resort and is belligerent enough that the management determines that she's drunk and cannot drive with her kids. Park rangers show up, followed by EMS, and the rest is out of my hands and I honestly don't know what happened to them. I do know that the family was permanent banned from the resort though. That was the first rescue I had ever made, and I was commended for it by management and the other pool goers. It was a wild Sunday. I went on to be a lifeguard for nearly 15 years at pools and lakes and the oceans, as well as to manage my own pools. I could tell the endless stories of entitled parents and children that I dealt with on a regular basis, especially as a pool manager. But this is always the story that sticks out in my head since it was my first job and my first rescue. Well, the stupidity of entitled adults and swimming pools seems to know no bounds. The second story. M buys an explicit book for a young entitled kid. So this happened about 4 years ago when I was 15 and got my first part-time job at a big bookstore. Background: I was normally working at the manga section, which was quite big, and there were super nice people, but this time I had to check people's book because my colleague was sick. Story: I was at the cash register while M came with her 12-year-old daughter. They had some school books and then historical romance books, which I loved and still do. I noticed that one of the books had some 18+ scenes since I read it not too long ago. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but is this book for you?" I asked her politely.
"No, it's for my daughter. Can't you see that everything here is for her?"
She answered quite rudely. "I hope you know that this book had some naughty scenes," I said while she mumbled, "Whatever." I checked her out and said goodbye. A week later, my supervisor calls me to the cash register and there's the entitled mother with her entitled kid. You could feel that the entitlement was in the air. As I walked closer, I smiled while I knew I was going to get yelled at.
"Couldn't you tell me there were 18+ scenes?"
She yelled while smashing the book on the table. I was taken aback as she yelled much louder than I expected. "Well, I did tell you there were these scenes." I was super close to yelling at her, but decided not to. Firstly, I needed the money, and secondly, I liked working there.
"You didn't, and now my angel is scared for life."
Well, yes, she said scared. Well, she probably already had educational classes about that in school. Can we just give her a refund?" I asked my supervisor as I didn't want to deal with her anymore and just go back to my section and look what new mangas we had. He just nodded and gave her a refund and said she can leave. She was a special one because she yelled that they should fire me on her way out. My supervisor said he knew I had warned her as he knew that I don't want to ruin a childhood to some random kid. So, are you expected to read like every book in the store in order to warn children of naughty books? The third story. I'm not your maid, do it yourself. A little context: I, 19-year-old female, do not like my stepmom, 39-year-old female, and my dad's working in another country. She has her own house and I tend to my dad's house, which she only visits from time to time. Ever since the pandemic began, she's turned me into her own maid. Recently, she's been coming here late at night demanding that I cook for her and to serve her. She doesn't wash her own dishes and yet calls me lazy for doing all the housework then sitting in the bed. All she does is eat and sleep. It's like I'm the mom. She has the emotional capacity of a high school girl. I kid you not. She once threw a fit when I told her how to cook an egg just so that I can cook it for her. I've never argued back, but tonight didn't go as her mistress wished. My stepmom walks into my room asking what I'm eating for dinner, to which I respond with, "I'm not eating dinner, I'm not hungry." I think she didn't hear me because she continues babbling passive-aggressively saying that,
"Can you include me this time in what you're cooking?"
First of all, I've cooked for her dinner each time I cook for myself or even when I don't cook for me. She's talking about the time I ordered food and didn't know she was coming home earlier than expected. It was my lunch and she comes during dinner time. So this exchange takes place. I reiterate, "I'm not eating." Her,
"What?"
Me, "Well, I'm not hungry. I'm not going to eat dinner." Her,
"But you have to. You're gonna get sick again."
Me, "Well, I ate a lot today." Her,
"Huh? Like what?"
I can tell she's already riled up, but it's not my problem. Me, "Well, bread, PB, kimbap, rice." Mid-sentence, she kept interrupting saying,
"What else?"
before I could even finish the word. And then adds,
"It's not nutritious."
I say that, but kimbap is. She doesn't even know what it is. It's a Korean rice roll filled with veggies, but it may vary. After silence and realizing I won't be making her any food, she mutters barely audibly,
"I'm gonna die in this house."
And she walks out of my room pissed. Well, go make your own food for once. Oh man, you seriously have to tell your dad about this. I feel so bad for you. That's one hell of an annoying Karen. The fourth story. M tries to steal my phone because I wrecked her son in Minecraft. So this was last month and it was my best friend's birthday party. M equals to entitled mom, EK equals to entitled kid, D equals to my dad, and me. So me and my parents and brother arrived at the birthday party, and I played Minecraft with my best friend and my brother. Then, after 30 minutes, entitled kid comes to play with me. He asked if he can join my world. I said yes. Oh, big mistake. So after he joined, I gave him some stuff and played for a while, and then I wanted to play Mario with my best friend, so I stopped playing. The entitled kid asked why I stopped playing Minecraft, and I answered I wanted to play other things. He seems kinda angry, but did not say or do anything. Yet. While playing with my best friend, the entitled mom comes in front of my face. I thought it was because I didn't invite EK, but I was wrong.
Why did you stop playing with EK?
Me, oh, I didn't stop playing. I'm just playing another game, and entitled kid can join if he wants.
What game did you play before?
Me, well, Minecraft.
Play it with my angel right now.
I agreed to play because I did not want any trouble and I did have some grinding to do in Minecraft. Me, well, fine.
That's better.
So then I was playing Minecraft again, but I was underground grinding, so I did not know what EK was doing. Then after some time I heard this message on the chat, Omega slain by EK. But as dumb as I was, I thought it was a fake dog or something, so I ignored it. This happened before and I just told my bro to check on my dog. Bro, hey, your dog is not in his house. Me, what? I'll come right away before he leaves the game. I will kill him. He has diamond armor, right? Bro, yeah, get your harming arrows. So I snuck in his Minecraft house and then wrecked him and kicked him. I also took his small house as the funeral area for my dead dog. So I was just angry at him, but since I'm not a literal pet lover in Minecraft except for horses, I just thought of it as an excuse to kill him. And hey, free diamond tools / armor, but then M came.
Why did you kill my son in the video game? How dare you? I will call your parents.
Me, because he killed my dog, and also my parents don't even know you and won't care.
In that case, I will take your phone.
I am very protective of my phone, so I just quickly place it in my pocket and try to run, but M scratches me and hits me to get my phone. And she was very close to getting it, but I pushed her hand away and ran to tell my dad, and then my dad confronted her. Dad, if you touch my son again, I will break your face. Scared as crap.
I will be calling the cops.
She then runs and I laugh about it with my friend now. Also, the entitled kid tried joining my Minecraft world, but with some help from my friend, we trapped him. It made him a prisoner in the new prison. You did the right thing. As I always say to my friends, they play Minecraft, never touch a man's dog. The fifth story. My friend's breasts are offensive to an entitled mother. So basic information, me and my best friends were in a beach, just chilling. One thing I need to inform is that my best friend is on the big-breasted side of the spectrum. So like any big-breasted woman, bikinis are a nightmare to her. She always is stared at, and that makes her really uncomfortable. Now, to the story. Me and her were in a more secluded part of the beach, and we had swum and decided to sit a bit. When we come back to our chairs, a family has settled down near us. The mom was in her late 30s and the dad was in his late 50s. They had a child with them, a 9-ish years old boy. We didn't pay mind to them. We sit in our chairs and talk for a bit. I noticed the dad of the family looking at my friends but paid no mind. I decided to pick something to drink. There was a bar nearby. I asked my friend if she wanted something. She asked me for lemonade. I go to the bar and see the entitled mother coming near me. I waited in line until the entitled mother comes to talk to me. Entitled mother, me, a unicorn.
Hi, I saw that you and your friend are nearby me and my family.
Well, I just nodded to her.
I think that your friend is really beautiful, but she's showing too much cleavage.
I looked at her, trying to think what to respond to this. Me, well, she can't be faulted for being born with big breasts, can her? She looked at me like she was expecting me to agree with her.
Well, she could not use the bikini that small,
she said with a somewhat annoyed voice. Me, well, she can do whatever she wants, lady. She become red at that, and I don't think that this woman has ever heard someone disagree with her before.
She's looking like a tramp, and my child will be traumatized.
I looked back to where my friend is sitting, and I have a clear view of her and the entitled mother's family. Her child is doing sandcastle. A cute view, I might add, and her husband is staring hard at my friend who was passing sunscreen at the time. So the problem was not her child, it was her husband. Me, well, I can't do much, lady. Now please leave me alone. Finally, it was my turn, so I picked my drinks and ignored the entitled mother. She wasn't happy about it, though.
Oh, don't you dare ignore me, young man. I'm not finished.
I just looked at her and took a sip of my drink before saying, Me, lady, your kid isn't even looking at my friend. Your husband, on the other hand. I pointed at her husband, who was staring at my friends with hungry eyes. She looked shocked and just started walking to her husband. I go to my friend, give her to drink and sit beside her, watching the wife furious whisper to her husband. Not long after, my friend and I decided to leave. I didn't tell my friend about the crazy lady. She has confidence issues enough. At least I didn't see this family ever again. We'll come to Europe. They are naked beach and no one cares. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.